Hello again, everybody. This is Lynette with the Skin Candy. Thank you so much for joining us again on another one of our soaping adventures. Today's soap is going to be a wholesale order. This customer actually owns a beef company and has excess beef tallow and wanted me to make some products using beef tallow. So this is the second batch of soap we have made for them. I have my beef tallow in here along with my coconut oil and my olive oil and a little bit of rice bran oil and castor oil. And then I also have in here some colloidal oats and some kale and clay. And to this, the fragrance we're going to be using is a brand new fragrance for us to be using in soap. I've used this in a couple different products, but never in soap. And this is Nature's Garden Sage and Citrus. One of the requirements of this was to be using sage, and she requested lavender and sage, but I don't have any of that, but I did have this mixture. So we have sage and citrus, Nature's Garden, and with it being a citrus, it should give me a lot of time to work with it because I'm planning on doing an in the pot swirl, and then I'm going to be using this contraption. This was supposed to be really short and it ended up being like, I don't know, 5 feet long. But I'm going to be putting this through my 5-pound mold. And you guys have never seen me pour a 5-pound mold before, I don't think. But then I'll be running this through and making it basically called a hanger swirl. My husband is making me one out of metal, out of stainless steel, which will be really nice when we get it done. So hopefully that will work out. The colors I'm going to be using today are, when I think of citrus and sage, I think of green and yellow and orange. So we're going to be using the Maniacal Pea by Mad Micas. We're going to be using Taxi Cab with a little bit of a tennis ball because yellows tend to kind of morph a little bit in cold processed soap and they don't come out as vibrant yellow as they usually should. So I'm going to be using that. And then I'm going to be also using Tangerine Dream. So we'll be doing 3 colors, splitting that off. And I think that's it. Oh, to my lye water, I have added my sodium hydroxide and just water, Tessa Silk, and some, I forgot to add my sodium lactate. So I guess we will add that to our batch of oils, which is totally fine. I'm going to be adding 4 teaspoons, and this just helps to get a harder bar. It also helps to get it out of a silicone mold. Most of the time if you don't use sodium lactate, sometimes it doesn't, it depends on the recipe, but I found if I don't use sodium lactate in silicone molds, I have to wait 3 or 4 days to cut, and I'm too impatient for that. And I also like how hard it makes my bar. So, we're not going to be doing anything fancy on the top, just a swirl. Might peek it up in the middle. I don't know. You know me. I never know until I get there. So, without further ado, let's get soaping. I'm not sure why this is heating up like it is, but it is getting really warm. I'm probably gonna have to put this in the oven. And people who use those wires, I don't know how you use them, because they're, to be honest, they're stupid. Hey everybody, we're back to cut this citrus and sage soap, which kind of turned out to be a nightmare. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to redo it. The top, it just doesn't look great. I've been thinking a lot about this, and I know what I'm gonna do differently. So we are just going to get in here and cut it, and maybe it won't turn out as bad as I thought it would be. But, oh, I'm not holding out much hope. And there went all of my salt. I added some salt to the top to thought maybe it would make it look a little bit better, but it didn't. So at this point, we're just going to call this a loss. And we'll just have to shred this up and put it in another batch somewhere. Make it into some confetti soap, or even just maybe just hot process it. So until next time, everybody, bye.